Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the weekly fishing report for the week of December 28th. I hope all of you guys had a happy Christmas, and I'm wishing everybody a happy New Year at this time. Be safe if you're going out New Year's, and we'll see you on the river next year. A lot of fishing news, so we're going to get into that. We're going to run through it real quick, and then we'll get into the reports. Number one, Alan Fong. I think we mentioned last week that it was Alan's retiring, and his last day, I think I put it out there being January 15th. Well, Alan's last day in the shop is going to be this coming Sunday. I believe it's New Year's Eve, and Alan will be there. He'd love to have you guys come out. It's going to be open to the public, regular store hours. And come on out and say hi to Alan. Thank him for what he's done. There's going to be I think there's going to be coffee and donuts out there, and that might be the last time you get to see Alan in the shop. Get a picture with him or something, because believe me, Alan is a legend out here. So Alan, we'll see you Sunday. I'll be out there, and hopefully if you see me, say hi to me. You don't have to get a picture with me, but just say hi, and we can chat a little bit. Okay, what's coming up? First of all, the ISE show in Sacramento, the International Sportsman's Exposition, is coming up January 18th through 21st. Put that on your calendar. I'm going to try to be there all 4 days. I haven't finalized everything yet, but I think I'm going to be at the Fisherman's Warehouse booth. More of that to come here in the next couple weeks. But I want you to put that January 18th through 21st on the map. They have a lot of local talent. A lot of people are going to be at the tanks and the demo booths talking about the Delta. So it should be a lot of good information, a lot of good deals this year. Adults are $16. Under 15 is free, and active military is free. So make sure you check out that ISE show this year. What else? We'll talk mussel sticker fees. Remember, if you guys are boat owners, you need to have that mussel sticker on your boat. They don't come with your registration. You can get that online, and you just Google up mussel free sticker request at DMV. It's a $16 sticker. You can do that online, and it takes you just a few minutes. Now, I did it a couple weeks ago. I still haven't received my sticker, but you got to have that on there. So make sure you have that. Also, for those of you who know Jim Horton out at Real Custom Boat Works, I talked to Jim. He's going to have his annual Coast Guard inspection day out at the shop. That's Real Custom Boat Works. If you don't know where that's at, it's right behind Paradise Point, where the old Paradise Point engine repair was, the boat and engine repair, kind of in the parking lot there where you're at. He's going to have February 15th Coast Guard boat inspection. They'll come out. It's a free inspection. It's a good thing to have done, especially if you got a new boat or you're not familiar with, you've bought a new used boat or whatever. They'll come out, they'll go through the boat. They're not issuing citations. They'll just let you know that everything is okay, or maybe you need to have something, fire extinguishers out of date or something like that. And might save you a citation later in the year if you happen to get bored and checked by Coast Guard or Fish and Game later in the year. So that's going to be the 15th out at Real Custom Boat Works. I also want to hit up Marlon Carpenter. He's the man behind the Crappie Closet Delta Crappie Tournament Series. Marlon is hot on this, and I really like what he's doing. He's going to have a couple more tournaments, I believe in April. Hasn't set the dates yet, but I'm going to keep you guys posted on that. So all you crappie guys out there that are looking for some competition, keep that Crappie Closet tournament in mind. You can get a hold of Marlon on his website. Just look up Marlon Carpenter or Crappie Closet Custom Baits. You can get all the information from Marlon. Chris Starkey from HBXL Outdoors. Remember, he's out every Saturday for you. Every Saturday morning out at Tracy Oasis for you kayak guys. Chris is out there to answer any questions, fishing related, especially kayak questions, how to set the kayaks up, what you need, what you don't need, all that good stuff. So make sure you visit Chris Starkey, and you can check out HBXL. I don't know what's going on today. It's HBXL Outdoors. Google that up, and you can get Chris's number and give him a call, let him know what you need, and hopefully you guys can make plans to see you out there at Tracy Oasis. Now let's, Tracy Oasis. Let's talk about something. I might go on a little tangent here because I talked to Chris, and Chris was out last Saturday. I think he had 6 or 7 kayak friends out there, and they're doing their meet and greet, and after they do the meet and greet, you know, they go out and fishing. Well, they were out fishing, and unfortunately it was a guy in a bass boat that came way too close to one of the kayaks and actually tipped the guy over. It had to be pretty darn close to, you know, if you're in a bass boat and you tip the guy over. An older gentleman went in the water, lost a bunch of stuff. Luckily, Chris and a couple of the guys were there. They got him righted, got him back in the boat, got him back to the dock. Actually, the next day, Chris went back in his dive suit and collected. I think he found everything that the guy had lost in that same area. But, you know, that could be a dangerous deal. Water temperatures approaching 50 degrees. The guy's in the water. If he hadn't had help, you never know how fast hypothermia is going to set in or what can happen. So as Chris was telling me that, and I'm going to roll a little tape now on a situation that happened to me, and this happened to be with a duck hunter. Fishing a slough, plenty of room for everybody to fish and recreate. This guy decides he's got to come within about 40 feet of me. And if you guys are reading my lips when he goes by, I apologize for that. But here's the deal, guys. You know, I love fishermen, I love hunters, I love everybody that's out here in the outdoors, and we all have the right to be out here. But it's just not cool, you know, blowing by guys 30 or 40 feet away from their boat. Give them a little break. I mean, especially when you have, either slow down if you're in a tight area in a slough or something, slow down or try to get away from them and just, you know, be considerate of the other guys. And that's all I can say. Let's get into the darn fishing report before I get mad and say something I don't want to say. All right. Let's talk about river conditions. Water temperatures, you know, they're starting off about the same thing, about 48 early morning up to about 54, 55 midday. Very low angler pressure out here. I'm getting very few reports, so if you guys are out there fishing, make sure you're sending reports. They're important. The debris has cleared up, so there's not a whole lot of vegetation out here, so navigation is pretty simple. There is a lot of morning fog, so be careful, and a lot of guys that are not familiar with the Delta are running very close to shore because they can't see what's going on in the middle of the river, so they'll run real close to shore. Just remember, there's a lot of bass boats in there fishing close to shore. There's kayaks. You can find striper guys that are anchored up very close to shore. So foggy mornings, slow down. It's about 9:30 this morning. It's Wednesday. It's chilly this morning, but the sun's starting to break through. The fishing has been pretty darn good out here. It's kind of across the board, but I think for most people it's been pretty darn good. And I've got a really good report from what I've been doing and a couple of close friends, so we'll get into that in just a minute. So morning fog, everything looks good out here, and it's just beautiful. I can't remember seeing any more birds out here, geese and, you know, the honkers that are running around. It's just pleasant to be out here right now, and it's not that cold. Early mornings, you better have a coat on. Afternoon sun comes out, it's pretty nice. So stripers haven't got a whole lot of reports on them. I know that the fish are still out on the Sacramento side. The guys out there are doing well, no matter what you're doing. If you're throwing plugs, if you're trolling, if you're live bait, you're catching fish. If you're fishing somewhere between Liberty Island and I'll say Pittsburgh, the fish still have not come into, the stripers still have not come into the Central Delta like they should. I talked to one guy at the ramp yesterday, a local guy, and he went out bass fishing, and he caught a couple keeper stripers sticking, you know, just to the inlets around the main channel. Caught a few bass. People are catching them in the Central Delta, but they're not schooled up. I've been throwing nothing but jerk baits, and I've been staying pretty close to Paradise Point. And generally, when I'm really leaning heavily on jerk baits, I'm catching stripers with the bass, and I have not got one striper in the last 10 days or so. The other thing that I have not seen is one sea lion. So that's telling me, at least where I'm fishing, in and around Paradise Point, I don't think there's a whole lot of fish in here. They're not schooled up anyhow. So the real quick striper report. If you get, like I say, if you guys get out and catch some stripers, let me know what's going on. All right, the largemouth bass. It's been slow for some, and it's been good for others. I'll start off on the slow side, and I got a report from Scott. And Scott, this wasn't a good report, but I wanna, you know, I just want to hit you up. You're one of the guys out here that when you're not catching fish, you're sending me reports, and I know it's tough out here. The fishing has not been easy, and for you, it was really tough, but you sent in this report, and I believe me, Scott, keep on it, and your persistence will pay off. So Scott writes in, he was out at Bullfrog, 53-degree water temps, 4-foot visibility, 0 wind, and 0 fish. Fishing around Bullfrog. Scott, thanks for the report. That's telling some people that it's not going to be easy out here. Free Spool and Keith, he was out down south, visibility 1 to 2 feet, 48 to 51 degree water temps, very light fish angling pressure, didn't really see anybody out there. He had 7 fish, fished all day. All of them were keepers to 2.5 pounds. He had about 6 other bites. The only thing that he really picked fish up on was worms on a free rig. So that was Free Spool and Keith. Talked to Christian Ostrander. Christian's been out guiding, and this is where it gets interesting because when I got the call from Christian, and most of this stuff was just before Christmas, Christian was just nailing the largemouth bass. Nothing huge, but you know, a lot of 2 to 4 pound fish, which is a good sized fish right now. And he was really telling me if I wanted to go out here and catch fish and catch nice fish to put on an A rig and just stick with it. And I'll tell you, I've got a couple A rigs on, and I'm catching a few fish on A rigs, but not quite so much as what Christian was catching them on. But, you know, he spent a couple days out here, and Christian had very good luck. I've been out here several days, and I'll just give it to you right now. I am throwing some smaller swim baits or A-rigs, and I'm getting occasional fish on those, but I have really been just sticking, I'd say 80% of the time, on a Vision 110 jerk bait. I've been throwing it in different color combinations. It doesn't seem to be color doesn't seem to matter a whole lot. A week ago, I said I was having very good luck at the bottom of the tide, the bottom incoming tide. This week, probably just because I'm fishing more in the afternoon, I'm fishing a high tide. The last hour of the incoming high tide has been very good. It slows down right as the tide slows down, and then as it picks up and the tide starts going out again, it gets, I'm going to have to call it for this time of year, very good. I've been fishing probably 3 to 4 hour sessions and catching, I'll say 20 to 30 fish. Let's just say I catch 30 fish. 10 of those are going to be dinks. 10 of them will be just barely keeper size. And then that last 10 will be nice fish in that 2.5 to, I'll say 3.5. I've got a couple fish that were pushing 4. I don't think I've broken 4. And you just have to wade through the fish. But if you keep that jerkbait on hand, I'm fishing Thule Islands. If I find a flat on a Thule Island, I'm making sure that I fish the break where it comes out to maybe 6 or 8 feet where the vegetation stops and it drops off. I'm also fishing rock and Thule. Inside the trough at high tide has picked up a lot of fish. I'm seeing a lot of nice fish. I'm seeing them cruising. The fish that I'm seeing cruising, I'm not catching, but that's given me the idea to formulate a plan where I need to make a really long cast with that jerkbait, throw it out. I'm not fishing it real slow. I'm moving quick, and obviously I know Christian real well. I know when he's throwing those A-rigs, his clients, he's probably got his foot on the trolling motor and going through, moving through a lot of water. I will say that on the last couple trips, I've had probably an hour to an hour and 15 minutes sometime in that day where I didn't get a bite, and I'm thinking, yeah, what's going to go on? But a little bit of persistence has paid off for me. Again, the first 2 hours of the moving tide has been the best for me. So with that, guys, I hope it gives you a little information on what's going out here. You can come out here and catch fish, and it's going to be fun. Largemouth bass, and if you're just concentrating on striper, you're going to catch some striper. Last year, this time, the Delta was a mess. We could not get a bite, so I am happy. I'm just so happy that the fishing is good right now, and I am dreading when we do get that sub 50-degree water temperature that the bottom's going to drop out. But for right now, you guys got a couple days off over the New Year's. Get out here and fish. You're going to have a good time. I know there's going to be some rain coming in. You know, stay out of the storms if you don't like fishing in the rain, but the fishing is good here. So thanks a lot. If you get out, send in a report. And you know what? I'm going to pack up. I'm going to start fishing and hopefully catch a few more fish and call it an early day today and get in and have some leftovers from Christmas. And shoot, I see you guys out here. Good luck.